making an apron today. I'm going to make it out of this fabric. This I got at Joann's, and it is a linen blend fabric, cream colored. I already washed it in really hot water. I dried it in a really hot cycle, so hopefully it won't shrink. It's going to be a very basic pattern. Simple one-piece front, pockets, adjustable neckband, ties in the front. Follow me, I will show you how it's done. So this is the main body of the pattern. You only need one big piece like this. Lay it on the fold. I'll put the measurements down in the description box. I just constructed this pattern out of an apron that my friend had given me. Like I said, it's a pretty basic pattern. You need about 1.5 yards of fabric in order to get everything out. I have done it with less and just made the strings shorter, and that works fine too. These ties are really long. They wouldn't have to be this long. So you need one big piece and then 3 ties. I cut out 3 ties, and then for the third one, I cut it in half. Those were the strings that I used for the necktie, if that makes any sense. For the pockets, I just kind of free-handed it. Again, I used the pattern, I used the apron that I already had for the pattern. You need 2 pockets laid on a fold. And then it's time to sew. Of course, some coffee, some earbuds, and I am ready to rock and roll. Don't mind the scribbles on the side of my sewing machine. It's called having kids in the house, I guess. I didn't even know they were there until I looked at my film later, so I'm very sorry about that. What I did is I just zigzagged around the whole piece, and if you have a serger would work great, but it does fray in the edges of, if you're using linen, you're going to want either a zigzag or a serge. And then I just pressed it in about 1/4 inch all around the edges and then top stitched it. This does not have a right or wrong side. If you would have a right or wrong side, obviously you'd want to press it in on the wrong side of your fabric. And then the top stitching, I just did about a foot width, a sewing foot width, and straight stitched just all around the sides. And then it was time for the pockets, ironed them, and again, zigzagged around the edges, and then ironed it in 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch. It was a little tricky around the rounded corners, but you can just crease in the fabric until you get the rounded edge you want. As you can see, I kind of just creased it in, made little folds, and then it looked nice on the right side. Then for the ties, I simply took the piece I'd cut out, folded it in half, pinned it, and then sewed it, but maybe I think I did about 1/4 inch again, and then pressed the seam, and then turned the entire thing right side out. I didn't have to zigzag these edges because the seam is going to be on the inside where you don't see it. So then I press the seam just to make sure that it lays nice and flat after I have it right side out. And then I turned them right side out. This always takes a while. Put your feet up. Again, listen to something if you need to. And once they're all right side out, just iron them again. Make sure they're nice and flat. And then the exact same method with the neckties. They're just shorter, so it's going to be a lot easier. And then it's time to piece it all together. I measured everything. I measured down from the top and in from the sides so I could tell exactly where to put the pockets. Again, I'll put those measurements in the description box for you. And then I pinned everything into place before I sewed it together. For the ends of the ties, I just zigzagged them together, stuck them underneath the apron, and then just followed my top stitch perfectly to tack them on. And then for the other end that is out, that you can see, I zigzagged it together and then folded it in slightly and top stitched it so that you wouldn't see the zigzag edges. So for the adjustable neckband, you simply knot it together, however far up you want it. And I couldn't help but try it on that evening. It is matching my dress exactly, I see, so it's a little bit harder to see the detail on the apron, but I am happy with it. It turned out really well. This apron is, obviously, it's very light colored, so I'm thinking more like maybe if you're a cook at a wedding or something, to wear it. I don't think I'd wear it in my kitchen too much, but I love this pattern. It's a really simple pattern. I tried it on the next morning after I had a darker dress on, and here you can see the details a little bit better. I see I have it twisted around on the necktie, so I'm gonna have to retie it in the back. I did make myself another one earlier. This one, it hides the dirt a little bit better. As you can see, it is very well worn. I wear it almost every day whenever I'm in the kitchen. Thanks for watching. I hope this gave you some inspiration.